This is another great day for Queens and the Queens football program, and we're going to welcome 7 new members into the fold here, and we're going to welcome, well, a number of families here. Not everybody has their family here, but we have some great people here, and what do you say we get at it, okay? First and foremost now, I'd like to introduce to you a young man by the name of Avery Baker. Avery Baker came on the scene here on our radar when he attended our camp a couple of years ago. He was playing defensive tackle for Trinity College School in Port Hope, just up the way, and then completed his education at Salisbury College in the U.S. And we're delighted to have him. He's going to be the anchor of our interior defensive line in the future, and we expect him to come in here and compete next year, you know, for a seat on the bus. I guess it's only fair that if we announce one big fella on the defensive line, that we come back and introduce one on the offensive line. And this young man here has Queens connection. I believe both his mom and dad are Queens grads. He's a fair-sized chunk of a lad. I'm not going to say how close he is to 300 pounds, but it's close. All right. Good in the weight room. He is a physical player, bright player, and he's going to add some size and depth to our offensive line. All right, as you know that, well, for those of you who don't know, the recruiting at Queens is basically a national endeavor, and we have had young men in the program from coast to coast, and even the odd time we get somebody from the prairies. And I'm delighted today to welcome a young man who hails from River East Collegiate in Winnipeg, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, although we do have our local historian, Claude Skilly. I'm sure he'll get to the bottom of this one, whether or not we've ever had a player from River East before. But then we first came across this young man playing defensive end for Team Manitoba last year in Moncton at the Canada Cup Championships, and then he returned to his high school program to set a record. He played middle linebacker at River East and set the all-time record for tackles in the season at 96. So we're delighted to have him here. He's an outstanding player, great student. This next young fellow, we have had a tremendous run of outstanding football players from St. Michael College School in Toronto. And this is another one, a slight detour. He went down to Phillips Andover, another pretty good private school in the Northeast, to finish off his education. Stands 6'1", 230 pounds, outstanding downhill linebacker, and going to be a tremendous addition to the Queens defense. I think this next fellow will easily be the biggest player in the 2014 recruiting class at Queens. He's a young man who hails from St. Mary's High School in Pickering, played defensive end there, was coached by former Alouette Hall of Famer Gordy Judges. When we first met him, he was 6'6", and then the next time we spoke to him, he was 6'7", and then the time after that, he was 6'8", so we're not just sure how big he's going to be by the time he gets here, but we're delighted that he's coming. The fact that we have a couple of linebackers there, this is the kind of guy you love to see lined up in front of you. This next young guy, we got off a kind of people from Kingston got off a little bit of a rocky start with this next young guy because the Frontenac Falcons met him in the Ontario Championship, the National Capital Bowl, and his team from Warren Park did some damage that day. He's an outstanding young linebacker. There's a fellow here a couple of years ago by the name of Thane Carter, who very much resembles this guy. Great range, very physical, very skilled, great leadership quality, great student, another great addition to the Queens defense. You know, when you recruit somebody from the West Coast, they always ask what the weather's like out here. I think it's plus 12 in Vancouver today. It is not plus 12 in Kingston today. This young fellow this will be our first candidate to ever play here from Terry Fox High. The football coach at Terry Fox Secondary in Coquitlam, BC is Tom Kadaba. He's a legend out there. And this next fellow was a star on that team. He also was a member of Team BC. Most recently, the team went down south and had put in a great effort against the Americans and then defeated Team Europe. We're delighted to have him. He's outstanding on both sides of the ball, very athletic. He's got that all-pro kind of look to him.